All right, Shalom, Makim, Shalom. I'm going to start by giving infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harachak Wadash. That's the Heavenly Father and His Son by their true Hebrew names, in which you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes must call on to be saved. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sects of time. Kwam Yashala, Shalom. And this lesson is going to be entitled, It's a Balance, but also a Challenge. It's a balance, but also a challenge. All right, Lord willing, this message will be edifying. This is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight. That's right. So ultimately, we're balanced by the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, by this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, by being temperate, striving for the mastery. Okay, and the word temperate goes into having self-control. So a part of having a balance starts with having self-control as well. All right, knowing what to say, when to say things, when not to say them. Okay, and ultimately that's all done through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We have an order and a foundation that's been set up by the apostles on down to the least of us, with Yahweh Shai Mashiach being the chief cornerstone. But now this transformation by the renewing of our mind ultimately has called us back to the proper order to return unto the sons of God. And it comes with a balance. And that's ultimately what I wanted to get into in this lesson, that it's a balance, but also it's a challenge, meaning you have to fight continuously to keep that order within yourself. All right, ultimately to strive for the kingdom of heaven. So it says a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight. And I'm going to get this in the NLT. All right. This is Proverbs 11:1 in the NLT. And it reads, the Lord detests the use of dishonest scales, but He delights in accurate weights. You see, and I'm going to get that word just, because just is going into proper, fair. All right. And that's what ultimately we've come back to into this ministry, the proper order, the fair order of the Lord. All right. The mercy, the tender mercies of David. That word just. Ooh, and this is a beautiful word right here, because it goes into Salem. All right. Peace. Shalom. All right. That's right. And that ultimate peace is going to come through Shiloh. That ultimate tranquility is going to come through Shiloh. All right. Which is whom the world even really calls Jesus Christ, which Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai, He deliverer. Okay. So this is just synonymous with Yahweh Shai, just, fair, peace. All right. Salem, Melchizedek, Malak Tazadak. Okay. So it says complete, safe, peaceful, perfect, full, at peace. It says complete, full, perfect, safe, unharmed. So a perfect, a complete balance, okay, is required from the Lord on this side. And how are we ultimately complete? In the word. We're not going to ultimately be perfect, but we're striving for the mastery. All right. We're fighting for perfection, and that perfection is going to come with that incorruptible body. All right. That perfection is going to come with that celestial body. All right. And ultimately, we have to labor for it, because peace ultimately goes into rest. All right. And it's going to come first with suffering. And by suffering, ultimately, that's how you maintain a balance. Right. So get it real quick. Bear with me. This is Hebrews 4:11. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, which is the kingdom of heaven. And the word labor means suffer. So suffering brings about a balance, because when you suffer, when you go through something, you obtain discipline, and that comes with balance. So it says, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. All right. And ultimately, that rest is going to come through Yahweh Shai. This is Genesis 49:10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Hebrews 7:14 says, evident that our Lord sprang out of the tribe of Judah. All right. So the scepter, which is a ruling instrument, is not going to depart from Judah, which ultimately through Yahushua. All right. Scriptures tell you that the saints shall take the kingdom forever and ever. All right. And reign. So it says until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. And that him is speaking of Yahushua. All right. This is another example of Yahushua in the quote unquote Old Testament. All right. So that word Shiloh right there goes into peace as well. So we're laboring ultimately for Yahushua, for that testimony, because Yahushua did it first. He received that balance in the Lord and was that great example of how we ought to be in the spirit. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 9:25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. You see, so we're ultimately striving for the mastery through self-discipline. We're not looking forward to a crown in this life. Yahushua said, if my kingdom were of this world, then will my servants fight. All right. But our kingdom is not in this society where we can actually physically touch and say, this is New Jerusalem here, and this location in the United States, or this portion of the earth. No, it's New Jerusalem is spiritual. All right. The Lord is raising up a spiritual temple, and he's raising us up with a certain order, a certain balance within ourselves. All right. A certain aura about ourselves. All right. Wisdom shall make a man face to shine. And that wisdom is not just any wisdom. It's not wisdom of the world. It's not wisdom on how to train for the Olympics. All right. Which are this summer. All right. The 2024 Olympics is this summer. But ultimately, we're training for a different race. All right. We're preparing for a different competition that's coming forth. All right. On the planet Earth for the times that we're being faced with. So it says, 1 Corinthians 9:25 again, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, because incorruptible goes into heavenly, celestial. All right. Corruptible goes into earthly, terrestrial. And as it is written, this mortal must put on immortality. So if we're expected to put on immortality, it starts with having a balance right here in the flesh. All right. In this corruptible body. So it says, verse 26, I therefore so run not as uncertainly. You see, because we know what we're running towards. We're not just running in the dark. All right. It says, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, because we have a target that we're trying to obtain. We're not just beating the air. All right. We're not just shadow boxing. So it says, verse 27, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Ooh, it's heavy because it goes back into that balance. It's a balance, but it's also a challenge. All right. Let's get that word balance real quick. Merriam-Webster. It's the one I'm looking for. Bear with me. There we go. It says balance. Verb, to bring into harmony or proportion. And that's what the Lord is doing to his hopeful elect. He's bringing us into harmony. He's harmonizing us. We're singing that new song. All right. We're coming together. All right. Like it said, into the gathering of the people, unto him shall be the gathering of the people. So we're being gathered by Yahushua, by the word. All right. And there was another one that I wanted to get as well. Let's see if it's in here, or if it might have been the other definition, but I'll go back from the top and I'll just scroll down. This word balance. It says physical equilibrium. It says the ability to retain one's balance. It says, let's see, equally between the there we go. call Elohim Layah Bashim Yahushai. Balance. It says mental and emotional steadiness. Mental and emotional steadiness. Basically going into your spirit being aligned with the word. All right. From the apostles on down to the least of us. All right. That foundation that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has laid. Yahweh Shah Mashiach being the chief cornerstone. That aligns you with mental and emotional steadiness. Steadiness goes into stability. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. So ultimately, that's a good point as well, because in order to have a balance, you have to fear, because you're not going to want to be disciplined if you don't have fear. All right. You're just going to want to be undisciplined. All right. You're going to be as one that beateth the air. All right. Having no target, no goal. But the scriptures say that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. And that's mental and emotional steadiness. Steadiness is basically soundness. All right. A balance. Right. And that's ultimately what the Lord has called us back to do. All right. The Lord said, stand in thy light in the latter days. Not bend in thy light. Not bow, but stand. And that means what? Like it went into on that word balance, it said physical equilibrium. All right. So you got to be sound physically, spiritually. All right. Because the opposite of that is basically when you're not sound, you're basically having no voice, man. All right. So we know we have the voice of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. All right, through this word. All right, which in turn we become that voice to spread this gospel into the nations. All right. So, like the title of the lesson is, it's a balance, but it's also a challenge, because the Lord tells us ultimately, First Peter 4:12, beloved, Dawadah, David, all right, the house of David, the hopeful elect, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you, right? Because that fiery trial is that challenge that's ultimately going to bring forth that balance. Because when you constantly going through trials, tests, each time you're coming out better and better. So you're getting more and more of a balance, all right? It says, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Mashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Why? Because we were partakers. Why? Because we stood for the Lord, having stood so stiffly. That's a balance. All right. Proverbs 24:16, because we went into that word just earlier. It says, for a just man falleth 7 times and get it up again. 7 goes into completion. But the key is getting up again. Meaning what? Maintaining your balance. Getting back up. Getting back up in who, when, or what? Getting back up in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. Getting back up and doing what? Standing stiffly. All right. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 2, and I'll start at verse 42. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And those people, all right, like it tells you in Revelation 7:9, nations, tongues, but it goes into it and it says my kindred, all right? And when you go into that word kindred, it goes into Jacob, all right, and the 12 tribes. So that's what it's ultimately going into. This great people right here is talking about the nation of Israel. All right. It says, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. Because the children of Israel numbered as the sand of the sea. All right. It says, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly. And that's that young man is speaking about Yahushua. Revelation 2:10 says, be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. That's Yahushua speaking. Ultimately, those men that are receiving those crowns are the 144,000, the hopeful elect, that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So it says, verse 44, so I asked the angel and said, sir, what are these? Verse 45, he asked and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of our power. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of our power, whom they have confessed in the world. And ultimately, to have that balance, you have to confess Yahushua. All right, it comes with a balance, and we're obtaining that balance as each day goes by. All right, as we ultimately dive deeper into this word in these last seconds of time, in the time where we need it the most, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. All right, verse 47, 2nd Ezra 2 and 47. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of our power, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I to greatly commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. It said they stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. So the name of the Lord is very, very important. All right. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harachak Wadash. All right. Samai, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Allahayanawa, Yahweh Achud. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. All right. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. All right. And ultimately, in these last 6 of time, it's a balance, but it's also a challenge. But with that challenge comes the purification and also the sanctification and the verification of the hopeful elect. All right, laboring for that badge of exemption. So ultimately, Lord willing, this message was edifying. I'm gonna give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harachak Wadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings till next time. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.